Mike,
Because I don't remember. I don't want
Okay.
members.
Tyson is telling me that we can go ahead and start because
Call me. Hello, everyone. We're having a couple of technical difficulties here for a second. We'll be getting started here shortly. We're using some new technology here, so I apologize. We tested it this afternoon, and of course, it worked perfectly. Now it's a little bit of a challenge, but because last year we had so many people join, we had to try to do a different setup. So 1 second, we'll get going. And Hector, as you're the first vice president, if you could help along on pinch hit for Tyson, it'd be great.
Okay.
He's going to jump on and be listening. And I'm going to try to see if I can find him. So if it's all right with you, Hector, can you start officially the 20? 1 second, please. Sorry about that. And again, Hector, if you could get us started as first vice president, Stacy's going to continue to work with Tyson to be able to get him on. And then, but we'll start if you would start us, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mike, and the rest of the board members that are here with us here today, as well as all of the membership that's part of this meeting. We really appreciate you. And this meeting is to really give you some key highlights of progress that's being made and some good things that are being done by administration and for all of you, our members, but also to hear your concerns that have been provided with questions, and there's a response to those questions that will be given to you after the meeting. Will also be posted on our website. And we also want you to know that, we'd like your feedback to see if the format that we have here today is meeting your needs, or if there are tweaks or any changes you would suggest to make it better for you. Because really, this meeting is all about you. We appreciate you, and we want you to feel the value and the love that USA Boxing and our board and our administration has for you. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Mike.
Thanks, Hector. And as we said, just some housekeeping notes. This is the first time we've used this webinar. It was recommended by us by the USOPC. I know we're having some difficulties, and we're going to be working through them as we go. It's kind of like a boxing match. You roll with the punches and keep driving on. What I can say is if you, for minutes' sake, if you could make sure that you put your name in the, change your name. If you go to the top right-hand corner of your screen with your mouse, you'll see 3 dots. You can put your name there. With that being said, just how the forum will work. We have our staff that'll be presenting an overview. And like Hector said, the information, the whole annual meeting will be recorded. It'll be posted on the website. We'll also put out later an opportunity to give comments, please, and or more questions. Please take advantage of that. We're really interested in how we can serve you better. And so we'll get going. This is the annual meeting. And just double checking with the panelists. Can everybody see the screen that I have up? Screen, can you see this? And I'm asking Hector, can you see the PowerPoint?
I don't see the PowerPoint right now. No.
Okay.
There we go. I think it's coming up.
There we go.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. Just so you know, the chat has been, everyone has been disabled. And again, out of respect to everybody's time, there's a lot of information here. We will not be taking questions during the presentation. Please, if you have a thought or an idea, make a note, and then you can present it in writing later on. So this is the annual meeting. One of the biggest things, typically consists of budget the following year. We'll be reviewing it. And again, I think the most important part, and you're going to hear it several times, is, you know, the discussions. We provide you general update on everything. 2 years ago, our notice was late in getting out. We did it in 29 days instead of 30. So we made sure that you all had plenty of time to do that. With that, Hector, could you introduce yourself and the other board members? Sarai is able to listen in, but I think she's right in the middle of training also. So she's going to be part of it, but she won't be introducing herself, okay? She's one of our athlete reps, obviously.
Okay. Thank you. Again, my name is Hector Colon. My day job is I'm the president and CEO of a large nonprofit organization called Lutheran Social Services of Wisconsin and Upper Michigan. I'm currently the vice president of USA Boxing, and a little bit about my boxing background. I used to be the commissioner for boxing and mixed martial arts in the state of Wisconsin under Governor Doyle. And I also was a 7-time national champion, competed in the U.S. Olympic trials in 1992. Unfortunately, I lost. But boxing has played an incredible role in my life. I was on the U.S. national boxing team since I was 14, all the way until I stopped boxing when I was 20. And again, boxing created the champion in me, and now I'm trying to give back to a sport I love and to a specific organization that made an incredible investment in me by traveling me all over the world, training me, and really bringing out the champion in me. So thank you, everyone. Very happy to be here with you today.
Thanks,
Elise?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Hector. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Elise Segnol. I have served on the USA Boxing Board of Directors since 2023, and I currently serve as the treasurer. I originally joined USA Boxing as a boxer, an athlete, and I competed from 2012 until 2017. I was part of the Metro LBC, where I also was an athlete representative. And when I stopped competing, I wanted to remain involved and give back to the sport. And today, in my role as treasurer, I help oversee the financial governance, budget approval, and reporting, and ensuring that we remain as a governing body, fiscally sound, transparent, and fully focused on serving our members and athletes. Thank you.
Thanks, Elise. Daryl?
Chris, oh, is Chris here or no?
No, he is not. Daryl is?
Hi, I'm Daryl Smith. I'm an independent director on the board and also of USA Boxing and also USA Boxing Foundation. I began boxing at the U.S. Naval Academy, where I won my weight class at the Academy and Eastern College Boxing Champion. I lost a split decision for the national title. Boxing taught me a great deal about myself in terms of grit and determination. Really taught me what it was like to get knocked down and get back up. Also got me in really good physical condition. When I graduated from Annapolis, I served in the United States Marine Corps for 6 years, was a Desert Storm vet. And again, the lessons learned in the ring were actually more important in the Marine Corps than anything else in my life. Just the idea that you had to be able to push through difficult situations, and that mental toughness and physical fitness really came in handy as a Marine. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I went to business school and then began a career in business. Most of that time has been spent as a private equity investor, buying companies from anywhere from 30 million in revenues to over $1 billion. Currently live in Dallas, and I've just felt a need to give back to the sport that taught me so much about myself and helped me understand the meaning of grit and determination, both in the ring and outside of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Eric Buller here? Thought he was on. No. Alex? Lauren?
Hi, I'm here. Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Migliacci. I am an athlete rep director for the USA Boxing team. I've been here now for just about a year. So started last year and working with the board and the team here. Background for boxing, 2018, just within our LBC, and then went to a couple of nationals, came out victorious and very proud of that success as super heavyweight female in 2023, and now kind of transitioning into, though I'm coming back from practice now, so I'm still not out of the game quite yet, but transitioning from boxer to coach and how I can kind of give back and help the team out now is kind of where my next steps are going. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. Danielle? Oh,
Hector,
Yeah.
I think Tyson is not able to get his camera to work, but I think we can hear him now.
oh, great. Tyson, my man, chairman of the board.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Hector. And I'm glad you guys got a chance to meet the board members that are attending tonight. Thanks everyone for attending. And I think Mike's probably already covered the format that we're going to use tonight for this. And mostly, it's going to be, very informative. Your questions that you've asked, I think you'll see towards the end, they've been answered. And then some of it's been incorporated into the course of the briefing. But I think we're going to have a very informative briefing tonight. So thanks everyone for attending. A little bit about myself. As Hector said, I'm the board chair. I'm sorry you can't see me with my camera. I don't know what's going on. I got, as Sam Donald said, you guys be watching the Super Bowl. I must have had some ghosts going on here, but anyway, I just want to take a second to thank everybody for another successful year in 2025, and I know we're going to have a strong 2026. A little bit about my background. I live in Alabama. I was born in Alabama. Left here in high school, went to West Point, graduated in 1994. I went in the Army, did the whole Airborne Ranger thing for 8.5 years. So I had almost 15 years of military service. And then when I got out, I went into pharmaceutical sales for a year, went in the insurance business after that, then became an entrepreneur. And have a lot of that going on today. I'm still an entrepreneur, I'm still in the insurance business. And I'm just really blessed to have this position and to just be a part of USA Boxing. As far as boxing, I was a 3-time Hawaii State champion. I boxed at West Point and just fell in love with the sport. So hopefully, what I've been able to bring to the table as a chairman is experience in boxing, experience in business, and just experience dealing with people. And you can't have anything if you don't have good people. So we're loaded with good folks here on the board, here in our staff, our members, our officials, our R&Js, and our athletes, last but not least. So we really have a great organization trending up. We got some big things going on in the future that you guys will find out over the course of 2026. So, and as we move towards the LA Games in 2028. So just very blessed to be here, and just glad to listen and continue to serve you guys at USA Boxing. So thanks a lot.
Great.
Thank you. Thanks, Tyson. So
we didn't go through we missed a few board members. And I
that,
know Dr. Eric just came on as well. Did we go over? There's a few board members maybe that didn't introduce themselves.
Eric and
Stacia.
Stacia are not able, they're on the view
Okay.
side, they're not on the panel side. So
Okay.
everyone that is on the panel side has been called, Hector.
Okay, thank you.
With that, and hopefully we're trying to work it so the other board members can jump on. We will definitely get them on so they can introduce themselves to membership, which I think is critically important. I think at this point, if we can just start in going over USA Boxing's mission, obviously to promote and grow Olympic-style amateur boxing in the United States, and inspire the tireless pursuit of Olympic gold, and enable athletes and coaches to achieve sustainable, excellent, competitive excellence. But that is the overarching, as a member of and certified national governing body from the USOPC. That is the core mission of USA Boxing as we move forward. But we all know you don't have Olympians unless you have grassroots boxers and fantastic coaches. And so the other part that we also, that is just as important to our board, to our staff, is endeavor to teach all participants character, confidence, and focus as they become resilient. And at the end of it all, we know that we want to have champions in and out of the ring. But more importantly, we're one team, one nation, going for gold. So with that in mind, that's something that we know every day here in the office. We strive to serve you that way, keeping this mission going and providing, I think, what most people start this sport. And like the board members, myself, my name is Mike McAtee. I have the honor and privilege of being the executive director. I tell you, when I started boxing in 1972, over my career, I also sold boxing equipment. I was a trainer of amateur and professional boxers as we went forward. But I can never forget those first few days of walking into a boxing gym. I can remember that smell that right now was 50 years ago in my life. And then all the great people I've met along the way. But again, I think a lot of us remember, and some of us won't want to admit it, but I remember standing in my bedroom as a kid with my hand over my heart, thinking I was going to have a gold medal around my neck, and hearing the Star Spangled Banner played. So, the Olympic dream is live. I've talked to several Olympians, and when I share that part about me, they also said they practice. Fortunately for them, they actually make it to the Olympic Games. For me, I can barely spell Olympian. So for all our coaches and boxers out there, thank you very much. We don't do this without our great membership. So from myself, from the team out here in Colorado Springs, and our board, again, thank you. A couple of accomplishments that we were able to do during 2025, which are part of our compliance to be recertified. Several years ago, starting in 22, national governing bodies, and USA Boxing is one of 53, went from being recognized by the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee to being certified. That certification is a long process. And again, the reason it went from just being recognized to being certified is because of compliance. So far in 25, we were certified, and then we're moving on, and we'll have that certification carried over for the next 5 years. Part of the accomplishments, we had new board members come on. We provided new board member training. We had several of our committees, chairs and members, term limited out. They did great service for us. So we had to go back through and repopulate committees for 25, and there'll be some of them will be able to reapply after 4 years. But right now, we're excited about our new committee members bringing in fresh ideas as we move forward. We've been able to do rule book revisions this year, some bylaw revisions for they help us be in compliance with the USOPC. Our sex eligibility policy has been passed, which was a requirement moving forward into 26. USA Boxing took a lead role in helping World Boxing, the new international federation, which was granted provisional recognition in March of 2025, which allowed World Boxing to then complete numerous certain requirements to be that recognition. But most importantly, with a vote of the executive board of the International Olympic Committee, boxing was put on the LA 28 program. It was removed back in 2019 and was not put back on the program until last year. Currently, we have USA Boxing members and staff working on committees and subcommittees. As we move forward, we'll keep membership apprised of all the changes. But what I can tell you, in conversations that we've had, we will be needing volunteers for boxing at the LA Olympic Games. Most of those volunteers will come from USA Boxing members. So we will be putting that information out once the LA 28 committee opens up that programming. In 2025, we were also able to establish and carry through with our volunteer recognition program. Our foundation, as Daryl said, he is on the foundation board. Elise is also on our foundation board as their treasurer also. We were able to get over $150,000 in grants to support scholarships for USA Boxing members, grants for gym programs, which we were able to help get $1,000 worth of equipment and USA Boxing memberships, sanctions, things of those nature. So that'll be opening up again. We encourage all of you to that have gyms and meet the criteria to apply. And then they've also, foundation in 2025 got a very large grant. We're able to establish the Lauren Baker Officials Academy, which will provide education and training for our officials to help them get better. Many of you who have been to our national tournaments, we have been working with ZimPower USA, which is a scoring system company, started off much like Swiss Timing, that many of you recognize that brand. However, our partnership now with ZimPower has taken it to the next level. They have been developing an AI scoring system since April of 23. but more importantly, now at the national level, and the scoring system is going to be made available to LBCs. And as part of that program, we're going to be able to start being able to track technical information for your boxers that compete, by how many punches they throw, speed of punches, power of punches, activity level, when they attack. So we'll be rolling that out at national events. And then Mike Campbell and our events team will also be rolling it out at regional events. So there's more to come on that, which we're really excited about. Again, with compliance, and I know everybody, as USA Boxing members, we all have to be recertified when it comes to Safe Sport. We're also audited by Safe Sport. And again, we complied with all the written requirements. But then we had a live audit. The Safe Sport people were amazing. They said the event that we hosted, our LBC that hosted that event said we came through in flying colors. So hats off to our LBCs that do the great work they do every day. We have not been able to get Lynette on, and Mike Campbell, who his history, Mike, if you could say just briefly your history, but the fact that you were an LBC president, I think membership falls right in your area.
Thanks, Mike, and welcome everybody to the meeting. And it's great to see so many people participating in it. We value, like Hector said, we value your leadership you provide in your gyms and in your LBCs, and we're here to support you. And that's the purpose of membership services. So I work closely with Lynette, and so I'm going to deliver these remarks. Just a little background about myself. I've been here at USA Boxing National Office since late in 2017. But previous to that, since 2011, I served on the Gulf LBC Board of Directors in various capacities, Secretary, Vice President, and President. I've been the National Tournament Director since 2016, and I think I have about 35 national tournaments under my belt. So we're going to talk a little bit about events later on, but first let's talk a little bit about membership highlights for 2025. As many of you know, we broke our own record. We've in the next couple of slides, we're going to see that we have constant growth in membership since COVID, since we returned from COVID. So we set all-time record numbers in number of clubs and number of members for 2025. Membership services serves our members in a variety of capacities. In particular, they are a call center for anybody who hits a roadblock and needs help with their membership account or certifications. So that's a lot of their duties is streamlining and approving background screenings, background screening appeals. I believe that Mike McAtee likes to say that USA Boxing has more background screening appeals approved on a yearly basis than all other US OPC NGBs combined. So that takes a lot of time and effort. They've also processed all the athlete certifications. So that's all the annual physicals, birth certificate verifications, and now added to that sex, gender verifications as well. They also do a lot of our shipping and receiving. So whenever LBCs need materials, scorecards, forms, etc. And then, of course, in all areas, there's been substantial growth and increase in duties and responsibilities. I'll tell you, sitting outside of their call center, it's a wonderful thing just to be able to hear them talking to members all day long and phone and serving members and the phone ringing constantly. So they do a terrific job in serving and being that voice and that helping hand for our membership. Part of membership services or part of our membership department would be advising the standing committees of USA Boxing. These are committees that are offshoots from our board of directors, but are made up of predominantly made up of members, people, you guys. They serve on these committees and play a vital role in advising the staff in directions and giving their opinion on different matters, in particular rule changes and other important matters that we needed advice on. These committees are vital to the work we do here in Colorado Springs. There's also the advisory committees, again, to advise us and make documentation, make advice on rule changes and things like that. Here's some data tables. The important part of this is to see the constant growth. Of course, we all, COVID is now in the rearview mirror, but in 2020, it was a major setback for all aspects of society. It took us till 2022 to recover from that and to regain the growth that we had in 2019. But ever since that return in 22, we've had constant growth every year in all aspects, including boxing clubs, sanctioned events, and overall match reporting and competition opportunities. Again, just another graph of our membership growth. As you can see, 2020, we all remember that not so fondly, and it's been a great work ever since then in increasing that growth and serving and creating more opportunities for our members. Coaches and officials. Of course, we can't have competitions. We can't serve the youth and the boxers without them. So they grow just as much as the athletes do. And here's our club numbers, more clubs than ever, and more opportunities for those clubs to perform and be in the ring.
And Mike, I'd just like to interject on this. You know, in 2016, we had approximately 1,800 boxing gyms. So over this time, you know, without the great work of all our coaches, we wouldn't have the steady growth. So, I mean, really, they are the unsung heroes of our sport. And what, you know, our board recognizes, our team here in Colorado recognizes here is, you know, without great coaches and mentors like we have that literally save and change lives every day, our sport wouldn't be growing and we wouldn't be doing as well without it. So hats off to all our club, our boxers, our coaches, and those gym administrators that keep us going.
And Mike, if I could add, you often like to say that events drives membership, and what we see is a bump in membership whenever there is a major event. So shout out to all of our affiliate organizations such as Golden Gloves, NCBA, UCIBA, Silver Gloves. Whenever they have their major tournaments, we always see an increase in growth and membership.
Thanks, Mike. Matt?
Thank you, Mike. Good evening, everyone. My name is Matt Johnson. I'm the High Performance Director for USA Boxing. I've started working with USA Boxing in 2012, actually as a high performance intern. Worked my way up as a team manager, high performance manager over the next couple of years, and I've had the honor of serving in the high performance director position since the end of 2014. Our high performance mission, as stated here, is to consistently place American boxers at the top of world podiums. Everything that we do, we strive for a gold medal standard of preparation and performance within our department. And just want to kind of echo some of the comments that were made and just say thank you for all the grassroots, all the coaches, all the boxers, administrators, everything that you do. Without the work that you do on a daily basis, we wouldn't have high performance boxers or have the opportunity to work with our nation's best boxers and be able to support them on their road to the Olympics and continue to help develop them. So thank you again for everything that you do. We'll give a high performance recap for 2025. It was a busy year. We had a variety of training camps and competitions for our elite and youth high performance teams. Every first year of an Olympic cycle or Olympic quad, we generally see, a lot of newer boxers onto the team. And 2025 was no exception to that. I think we had at least 8 boxers who all made their international debuts in 2025. So a lot of good experience that was gained throughout the year, getting our boxers exposure against the world's best, because there is a bit of a learning curve that comes with that. Our goal is not to be champions of the United States, it's to be champions of the world. And a lot of that does come with getting the experience and facing the world's best, which was something that a lot of our boxers got the opportunity to do this year. So while our medal return rate was not nearly what we aimed for, a lot can be built upon this year to grow into 2026, and we've got some exciting new rising talent within USA Boxing that is making their way up. We just saw that at the national championships, and we're excited to continue their development and their growth in 2026 as we continue to press on and push forward. So just to give a preview to 2026 high performance, a big focus that we have in 25 and especially in 2026 is to continue building competitive depth within all of our Olympic weight categories and even other weight categories, especially at the youth division, so that we're preparing more than one boxer in each weight. In previous years in 2025, our funding was a little bit limited in order to be able to do that. But this year, we're fortunate to have some increased funding to be able to provide opportunities and international exposure to both our number ones and number twos in the elite division, and in addition to our youth team moving forward. So just to provide a little bit of a preview, right now we're currently conducting our elite high performance team evaluation and selection camp, which has been a competitive race so far. And really, we're excited about the talent that we have here in camp in Colorado Springs. Once that camp is finished, we will select our, sorry, if you don't mind going back one slide, Mike. But once that the camp is finished, our team will be selecting our elite high performance team, which is our number one boxers in each Olympic weight category. And then we're also selecting what we call our high performance squad, which is essentially our alternates, which in the past, the alternates generally only got an opportunity to compete internationally if a number one team member was injured. This year, that will not be the case. So we've got a busy schedule for our elite program. Our number one or our elite team, once the selection camp is finished, they'll be heading to a competition called the Stranja Tournament in Bulgaria. Their other major competitions this year will be the World Boxing Cups in Brazil and in China. And the major tournament for our elite team will be the Pan American Championships in October. Our high performance squad will also get competition experience. Our plan is to have them compete at the GB tournament in Finland and then the Eindhoven Cup in the Netherlands, all in the first half of this year. So excited about the opportunities to come for our elite team. On the youth side, it'll also be another busy year. Our youth team evaluation and selection camp will be starting up here in a couple of weeks on February 15th. Once that camp is finished, the selected team will actually leave camp and go straight to an international competition called the World Boxing U19 Futures Cup. That'll be taking place in Thailand. And then they also have another major competition, the U19 World Championships, which will be taking place at some point during the summer months. We're still waiting on the dates and location for that event. Unfortunately, we currently don't have any junior high performance training camps scheduled. This is something that we're hoping to be able to get back on the schedule, if not in 2026, then in 2027, so that we can begin identifying those junior age boxers and integrating them into our program and start teaching them about our high performance practices. I think there we go. It's an update on coaching education. It was a really busy year last year. We hosted more coaching clinics in 2025 than we have in any previous year since we built out the new system. I want to say thank you to all of our coaching education clinicians who have taken the time to travel to all different states to be able to deliver these courses and clinics. At the end of 2024, we had actually trained up more clinicians just because of the high demand for bronze coaching certification courses. So they've done a great job integrating into that and starting to deliver those courses. In 2026, within a couple of months, we're going to also be elevating some of our bronze clinicians to be silver clinicians. So that way we have enough people that can deliver the courses throughout the year. In addition to those courses, we also launched our gold level certification course, which is an in-person course in Colorado Springs, a week-long course. That was a big success, and we're excited to continue that in 2026 and beyond. And then in addition to those in-person clinics, we've also continued to have a good deal of traction with our online online courses, such as the nutrition course and the strength and conditioning course. And then we've also added a USADA educational course onto our USA Boxing education platform. So all of those resources, if you haven't visited the usaboxingeducation.org platform, it's available to all of our USA Boxing members. Has a variety of different resources, videos, and other educational components that we hope that our membership can access really at any time when they're looking to learn more in any sort of subject, whether it be coaching, boxing specific, or some of these other auxiliary subjects like nutrition, strength and conditioning, and USADA. In 2026, we'll continue to have a busy coaching education year. Just wanted to put that out that we do host clinics, bronze and silver clinics, all over the country. So if it's something that you're interested in hosting at your gym, please reach out to our coaching education coordinator, Kamara Penick, and she'll make sure to get you taken care of and get one scheduled so that you don't have to travel for that. And thank you all. I appreciate your time tonight and everything you do.
Zach?
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Matt. My name is Zach Chavez. I am the Communications and Digital Media Manager here at USA Boxing. Brief context for me, I started in July of 2024, just before the Olympic Games in Paris. So immediately was tossed into the fire, but it's been fantastic to be here, and I've been so excited and just grateful to be able to meet each and every one of you at all of our national events and the events that I've been able to travel to, just to be able to tell the stories and communicate with our members more what's going on throughout the USA Boxing organization. And as you can see here, that's kind of our mission statement with the communications department is we want to highlight the success stories within the organization from grassroots to high performance. And that's something that I feel very proud of my team in the communications department that we've been able to do in my time here. So 2025 highlights for us. My big focus has been to spotlight athletes, once again, from the grassroots all the way to the high performance levels, but specifically with our national events, highlighting these stories of each of the boxers that are in attendance, not just from a competition standpoint, but just from a personal standpoint as best as we can. And I feel really proud that we've been able to do that. We've been able to do that primarily through our Facebook and Instagram accounts. And it's been a mission of ours to really spotlight athlete performances when they're in competitions there, and then hopefully build off of that to tell further stories as we get to know some of our members more. So with that, I would encourage you, if we haven't met, the next time you see me at a national event, I'll probably be running around from here to there, but definitely stop me and say, hey, I'd love to meet you and get a better understanding of some of your stories. With those national spotlights, our intent, or with those individual spotlights at our national events, our intent is to grow exposure for boxers, grow exposure for clubs who are performing well, who are constantly present, who are constantly competing and attending our events, and just really hopefully give you all the love that you all deserve. So we've made it a mission to focus on these gyms or spotlight these individual names so that there is more exposure for each and every one of you on a national level as much as we can. We've also been able to enact partnerships. One that we're currently working on right now is a signage company that is going to be able to assist us in providing marketing and signage material for our events. But one thing that really resonated with me for that partnership is being able to give each of you, our members, a platform to go if you're ordering signage material for your LBC, for your gym, or just to have at your home. We want to be able to allow you to share the USA Boxing brand and showcase everything that you've done to be a part of it. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about. We'll have more news on that soon, but really just a lot of our partnerships overall have been fantastic to work with. Impact Custom Mouth Guards, Nike Athlete Performance Solutions. The list goes on and on. So I won't persevere on that too much, but that's been something that we've been working plenty with throughout 2025. In addition to that, one of our major events throughout the year in 2025 was our World Boxing Championships. It was the first one ever hosted by World Boxing. It was in Liverpool, England. And those stories don't just start when the athletes get to Liverpool, get to those World Championship events. They start at the grassroots levels. And I'm fully aware of that and I'm fully excited about that. So that's one high point for me is being able to tell the stories of the athletes who are in attendance there on our behalf because it starts at the grassroots level. And that's something that I'm fully focused on and being able to tell those stories as athletes, coaches, gyms are at the starting point of their careers. Once again, we've made a shift for our content on our social media pages to be more member centric. One thing that I was really excited to be able to do in Lubbock this past December was put together some videos highlighting some athletes that are on the come up or maybe in the junior youth, maybe local levels, to showcase who they are, build them a platform so that they can take it from there and really help tell their story from their own personal pages. Because I do think that's important. And while we will try to tell the stories of as many athletes, coaches, and gyms and officials as we can, there's a lot of members. And I think that's a really good problem to have. And I wouldn't even call it a problem, but we definitely want to provide the platform, but allow you all to take the story and tell your story from your perspective as well. In addition to that, we've made a focus on writing feature articles highlighting coaches who are attaining these coaching certifications, like Matt just alluded to previously, athletes who are successful outside the ring in their local communities. But once again, I would just encourage you to connect with me when we're at these events, and those are things that I want to know, and I try to do as much research as I can on our members when I'm in the office, but I want to hear the perspective from each of you all. So I think that's very important. And once again, I want to make sure that you all know who's actually typing and putting these stories together and handling the content on our website. Over the past year in 2025, we attended each of the World Boxing events with our high performance department throughout the year. In addition to those and the national events, I'm really proud to say that we accrued over 18 million views on our content on Facebook, over 30 million views on Instagram, putting us over 50 million views throughout the year just on those two platforms alone. And we've also added quite a few followers, which once again, I'm very proud of. I think the short form content and storytelling has been great for us, but I'm a storyteller by nature. And so I think our focus this year is going to be more how we can tell these stories of our organization and our members through some longer form content. So shifting to YouTube and not just having a dormant platform there, and really just helping tell the stories of our many members and clubs and all the people that make up and comprise USA Boxing. Just below that, you've got a list of our current sponsors. I won't belabor that point too much, but if you have any questions on any of these, certainly don't hesitate to reach out. But in addition to that, our messaging extends far beyond just Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, our website. We also have been consistent in driving our quarterly newsletter distribution to our members. So that's something that we conduct. We'll send one out by the end of this month. The plan is to get it out tomorrow, but we'll continue that on a quarterly basis after that, just to kind of update everybody on what's been going on or what is currently going on or what will be coming up within the USA Boxing organization.
Zach, can you just briefly talk about or give the information about what you all just posted on YouTube in regards to our boxers that are right now at selection camp, which is pretty exciting and gives great insight not only on the camp but on the boxers that are working on the gym now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I'm really excited that we've been able to kind of focus in and try to tell a longer form story of the Elite High Performance Selection Camp that's currently going on here in Colorado Springs. So if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, or if you're on our YouTube page, this past Friday, you saw a trailer kind of previewing what we plan to do to tell the stories of the 32 athletes that are currently in the Elite High Performance Selection Camp. We dropped our first episode yesterday. My days are all mixed up here. Actually, Monday. And we put that 8-minute video on YouTube. So I would encourage you, if you've got some time today, maybe before you go to sleep tonight, go check that video out, and communicate with us too. Like I want to hear. I firmly believe that communication isn't just a one-way path. It's definitely two ways. So I want to hear, like, if this is the kind of content that you're interested in, if this is the storytelling that you're interested in, I want to hear about it, because I want to know if we're doing well or if we need to pivot. But specifically for this 4-part mini series, we are focusing on each of the 32 athletes that are here in camp, and just kind of giving some insight into each boxer, how they got to camp, their entry into the sport, just different aspects of them, not only focusing on boxing, but also who they are as people. Because like I said, we can't have a high performance department if it doesn't start at the grassroots level. And that's something that's near and dear to my heart. And just being able to tell these stories of athletes, why they got into the sport, why they stick with the sport, how it's changed them, how it's shaped their lives. I think that's a really critical message, and it's something selfishly that I'm really interested in. And I want to help give a platform to as many athletes as I can. And I just hope you'll follow along and keep up with all the stories that we plan to tell, from the elite level to the youth level, carry that into some national events when possible. It's just something that I think we'll be able to pivot pretty flexibly. But I can't do that if I don't know your stories and if I don't get to meet you. So I hope that you'll, like I said earlier, you'll stop me when you see me and tell me your story. Looking at the sponsorship growth here, you can kind of see where we were at in 2019, all the way through 2025. We've got a massive contribution in 2025 of VIK contributions. And that's something that I think is critical to the success of our organization, and all the Sting gloves and equipment that you see at each of these events, and many more. I'm kind of blanking on specifics right now, but those are critical in helping the growth and exposure and audience, and growing our audience as we lead up to 2028 and beyond.
Thanks, Zach. And I'd just like to add on that. Obviously, you saw in 23 and 24 a major explosion in sponsorships. If you all can recall, during COVID, there was a lot of grant opportunities. We took advantage of those, and those dollar amounts were when we put on the Coaching You Up events at the grassroots level, regional level, and national level, to be able to get funding back out to the LBCs, to be able to help the gyms keep staying open. But because a lot of our LBCs took advantage of it, some of our group members did, where we were able to provide up to $1,500 a sanction back to our members. We are working with some different grant writers now. A lot of the funding with the current administration has gone away, but we have been told it will start coming back, and we are focusing on those opportunities also. Thanks, Zach. Mike?
Thanks, Mike. And thanks, Zach. Let me just commend Matt and Zach on the jobs that they're doing. The energy at the high performance training camp has been unreal. There's definitely been a culture shift over there, and looking forward to this next squad heading towards LA. and Zach's bringing great ideas to the table. I wanted to spend a little time on this introductory slide because this is very important. The philosophy of the events department here is to serve our membership with competition opportunities and to provide them at all levels, from grassroots to our identifying our talent identification and pipeline to the to high performance and Team USA, but also to give high quality administration and a good experience for our members. We've all been at events that maybe weren't run very well and been aggravated and stressed, and that doesn't lead to great performance. Our philosophy, and I'm very proud of it, has been to have a smooth check-in process, information delivery, i.e. when you're going to box, and then a constant information flow showing what bout we're on, so you can best prepare your boxer and give the best performance in the ring. So we've strived to do this. In the next slide, you'll see our 2025 events. We held four national events in 2025. The first one was in Pueblo, Colorado. It was the International Open. It was a event that was designed for grassroots boxers to get international competition opportunities with their own coach, rather than having you to watch them on a live stream from somewhere else. So we'll continue to do this and explore this opportunities to do events like this. We've opened up our events for international boxers to participate in them for that specific purpose. Not only is it great competition for those international boxers to come to the U.S., we have much greater depth than most countries, we're proud to say, higher membership, etc., and quality of coaches and clubs. But they appreciate the sparring they get and the local gyms they get to train at. So we've had quite a bit of participation from international boxers, both one USA Boxing members and other international federations. We then moved to Las Vegas for the Junior Olympics and Summer Festival. I have to say, I think this was one of the most successful events I've seen USA Boxing do. We had to add a fifth competition ring, which hopefully we'll add. Mike, if you want to go ahead and go to the next slide. It's the same slide, but it's got a few more stats. So the JOs had over 2,000 boxers interested in it and had nearly 1,300 matches in 1 week. We were having a national tournament a day. There's over 200 matches every day. So we did have to add a fifth ring. We still had to turn away boxers. And we've had to, because our national events have been very popular, we've had to increase the standards for entry. What that means is we've put a 50% winning percentage for automatic registration. Of course, we still have an exemption portal open where boxers and coaches can apply for an exception to a waiver to that requirement, because there's always exceptions to every rule. However, we want to up the standard of the competition, and then also the boxers that have competed locally, regionally, and then ready to come to nationals. So we want a certain level of experience before they advance to nationals. So to do that, and that was a necessary thing for us to do in order to limit the number of boxers that register, so that way we can handle the event. What I mean by handle the event is have enough officials to have quality decisions. The last slide, I'm going to go into a little more depth on Las Vegas, but let's hold on, Mike. Let's stay back on 2025. So I'll get back to talking a little bit more about Las Vegas and the financials, perceived and actual. We originally were going to do the Junior Olympics in 2025 in Tulsa, but it didn't work out. So we did pivot and went to Las Vegas instead, and then took the National Open to Tulsa. It was also a very large event, and just shows the popularity of USA Boxing national tournaments. This culminated in our national championships that was held in Lubbock. This event is very exclusive, but still had quite a large turnout. On this one, we raised the standard even more. We invited all of our previous champions. Again, the progression of national opens to the national championships. And I have to say, it was one of the best events I've been involved with in terms of quality of competition. It used to be where the Monday bouts were kind of filtering out some boxers, but now Mondays are like our Fridays used to be. Mondays, the level right out of the gate is incredibly high. So it's a testament to the job that you guys are doing in the LBCs and the coaches are doing every night in the gyms. What I'll say is what inspires me to put on these events is when I get feedback from the coaches who tell me that, who thank us for putting on these national tournaments because it keeps their boxers focused. It sets goals for them. It keeps them dedicated in the gym as well. This is how we identify our talent, our pipeline towards high performance. So it's a pleasure to serve the boxers from the grassroots all the way through to the high performance. But because we've increased, I'm sorry, Mike, I'm still on 2025. But because we've raised the standard and become somewhat exclusive to these national events, in order to serve members, we became affiliated with some regional tournaments. Some of these tournaments were already existing. Some of them we helped create. Some of them were opportunities that we took to LBCs and local clubs. The basis of these were that they were already very well run. They were already they were popular amongst our members, and we put a tier 1 rankings on them. This is the first time that I recall that we've had a tier 1 ranking tournament since 2017. So what this does is this gives boxers and coaches more opportunities in usually a shorter time frame, 3, 4, 5 days, to go regionally and compete, gain rankings points, and break into those rankings and prepare those boxers for the nationals. So we affiliated with these 6 tournaments in 2025, and we've expanded it for 2026. Mike, if you can go to the next slide. 2026, our goal was to increase to 10, and then our goal by 2028 is to have at least 12 regional tournaments opportunities. Some of these are brand new tournaments that were maybe national destinations that didn't quite work out, and we couldn't take a national there. So we've decided to work with them on a regional tournament, and they're spread out throughout the year. The main thing, the goal that we had was that we had diversity in geography. So that way coaches don't have to travel far. Of course, they're open to go to all of them, but we wanted to have ones that were close enough so that they could limit their expenses and still get a high level of competition. So we filled in the front part of the year with some new tournaments that we're excited about. Affiliated with the National Silver Gloves, which is a great tournament, long-standing tradition, 50 plus years, and also high level of officiating, as well as their progressive structure, which ensures that they have very high quality boxers at their nationals. So we wanted to affiliate with them, as well as the Junior Golden Gloves, which was a long-standing traditional tournament. At the top, you can see this is our calendar for 2026. Headed back to Pueblo next week. We brought back the Women's Championships, which is a part of our strategic plan. We wanted to showcase Colorado Springs in the women's event. It's less bouts, so it gives us more time to do activations and networking and other opportunities. So we wanted to showcase our community here. And then we're going to be returning to Wichita. It's a great facility and great central location, and they may make us very, very hospitable to us, and it's a good situation for our membership. So we'll talk a little bit more about placement of the JOs at the end. It hasn't been announced yet, but we do have dates there. The National Open will be in Cleveland, September 26th through October 3rd. And then, of course, our national championships will return to the Cajun Dome in Lafayette, Louisiana. I think everybody loves that setting. It's a great arena, great weather that time of year in that part of the country, and great hospitality. So we've been successful in expanding our competition opportunities at the national and regional levels. This serves us in many ways. We expect boxers to climb the ladder, have a progression from their LBC to the neighboring LBCs, to the Silver Gloves, Junior Golden Gloves, regional, and then open and championship opportunities. We don't think anybody should have their one of their first 10 bouts at the national championships. It enables us to share our resources that we've built here at national tournaments with our regional partners, as well as our best practices. We have a regional Tanner in our department, who's our regional coordinator, and works closely with every single one of these regional events, plus probably 10 or 15 more. Like Mike mentioned earlier, Safe Sport audits our national events, and now they've expanded to auditing a few of our regional events. So Tanner works with them to identify events that are good candidates for this, and thus far they've knocked it out of the park. They've done a great job, and Safe Sport's been very pleased with their experience at our events. It also this is the most important part, selfishly, on this side, because our national events cannot grow without having a large pool of quality RJs. It doesn't make sense to have an extra ring or a national tournament if you're not going to get the right decisions, if you're going to have poor quality decisions. So we've made many efforts to ensure good quality decisions, as well as identification of new officials that we don't know yet necessarily at these regional events. So at each of the regional events in 2025, we identified standouts who we then invited as cross-share officials to our national tournament, and that's part of our plan for 2026. It's also enabled us to introduce the Zempower system, our AI and scoring tournament management system. This has resulted in faster reporting of results into MatchTracker and WebPoint, as well as 100% reporting. As a quick aside, we had 40,000 matches in USA Boxing in all event sanctions in 2025. And I'm really proud to say that you guys, the members, the OICs, the LBCs, the registration chairs, have reported 95+% of MatchTracker results for 2025. This is phenomenal. It's come a long way since we first started MatchTracker reporting in 2017. So Zempower gives us more tools to streamline this, to make this faster and more accurate. It increases our capacity at national tournaments. The Swiss timing system wasn't doing it for us. We couldn't utilize it properly, and it wasn't scalable. It wasn't able to serve our needs at our national tournaments. Perhaps most importantly, it allows us to have open scoring in the corners, which allows you to be better coaches and instruct your boxers better. And it enables you to understand what the judges are seeing better than waiting till afterwards and looking back at a bout. And then one more thing about Zempower is that it streamlines our draw, makes our draw and our less administrative tasks. It gets you information faster. And then we are, like Mike said, we've made the agreement with Zempower. We do want to start rolling these out at regional events. There'll be training of it. There's been training available at all the national tournaments, as well as these upcoming regional events that some will have Zempower if it's logistically possible, and we have operators. But now we're facing a shortage of operators and administrators. So this is my plea to you guys. If you have an IT background, if you have an aptitude or just an interest in the electronic scoring system, please employ your LBC to send you to nationals or come on your own. The first 2 days before the tournament starts, before we do the draw, we provide training in the Zempower system, basic operation, all the way through administration, tournament draw, building bout sheets, all the way through results, and then we run the draw. So there'll be an opportunity to see it, to use it, to be hands-on, and if you want to stay for the week, to even operate it during at ringside. So please, if your LBC is interested in having a Zempower system, the requirement is that you have trained operators beforehand. 2026, like I mentioned, Zempower rollout, geography. Okay, so this is something unusual. I don't know if very many people have seen this. I apologize for the low type, small typeface, but to get it on the screen. So this is our P&L, a profit and loss from a particular tournament. And I picked this one because everybody loved it. It was Las Vegas. Everybody keeps asking, why aren't we going back to Vegas? Why aren't we in Vegas every year? I'll tell you why. First of all, we had been trying to place an event in Vegas at the directive of John Brown back in 2017, every year that I've been here. We've been close at times, but it's always been an expense that was way too far out of our budget for us to be able to handle. So that's why we didn't go there. Now I'm going to illustrate a little bit more. So how did we end up in Vegas? As I said earlier, we were going to be in Tulsa for our National Junior Olympics. It didn't work out hotel-wise, so we had to pivot. Vegas offered us a free facility. We didn't pay any rent. That's my starting point in negotiation, is free rent. And made us a pretty decent situation. Of course, since it was last minute, you can see on here that typically our largest sponsorship is a bid fee from the host city. Vegas didn't have it for us. They weren't able to do our typical bid fee, but it was still very lucrative. We had higher ticket sales than we've ever had. Of course, it was a larger event, so we had higher registration fees, and our revenues were just under 225,000. But look at it in the red, our total expenses were 475,000. So some would call this a loss, but our philosophy is that we spend membership dollars. This is your money, membership money on members, to have competition opportunities. So this illustrates how USA Boxing funds our national tournaments and how we essentially subsidize competition opportunities for you. It's often misperceived. Wow, you guys are making a lot of money, or USA Boxing's just after the dollar, registration fees are high, etc. No, if these were lucrative events, then there would be 10 promoters out there doing them, and USA Boxing National Office wouldn't be doing them. This illustrates how we spend money predominantly on getting quality officials there. So as you see, our budget for our airfare was accurate. Our budget for our lodging was accurate. These are high costs for us, for officials. However, what blows us away in Vegas, and this happens in some parts of the country, we often get asked, why do we always end up in the Midwest? Well, because cost of doing business is affordable there, and it's easier to travel to. But if you look at our meals, and this is what has previously killed any opportunities we had to go to Vegas, we budgeted for $50,000 in catering to do the event in Tulsa. Of course, we needed more officials and we had to increase because of the demand, but we spent 3 times that on our catering, $150,000, which was predominantly what this budget incurred. The other escalating cost was contract services. In Vegas, we have to pay for a lot more things that are usually included in the rent of the facility. We had to pay for cleaners, we had to pay for security, etc. So I don't want to I don't want to spend too much time on this. They're numbers and they're boring, but we want to illustrate to you, the members, how we spend your money on you for competition opportunities. This factors into how we do event placement. As you see on our calendar, we're headed back to Wichita because it's a more economical situation for us. We spend time in the Midwest, Ohio, Texas, because of costs. So we do try to go to Florida. We do try to go to California, New York, Massachusetts, places like that. But getting free rent and getting the philosophy of supporting the event, supporting amateur sports, is much more difficult in those places. So if you have any more questions about event placement, then I'm glad to talk about that as a follow-up. This is this is all USA Boxing sanctioned events. As you can see, COVID year was pretty low, and it's been a steady recovery since then, but nearly 2,000 sanctioned events in 2025, resulting in over 40,000 bouts reported in Match Tracker. Mike, you had a stat about that. 40,000 bouts is more amateur bouts by USA Boxing than all professional bouts in the world in 2025.
That's correct.
All right, everyone. Thank you for the time to present to you, and happy to do any follow-ups and answer any particular questions. Looking forward to seeing you in Pueblo and at the JOs in the summer.
Thanks, Mike. Lisa Peterson, our finance director, is not feeling well, so I'm going to do a little bit of pinch hitting. We're fortunate enough that I also going to be able to have a pinch runner, Elise Signol, who is one of our directors, as she introduced herself, is our treasurer. She's also responsible to chair our audit committee. We'll go through a little bit about that, and she'll explain the role of the audit committee. I can't tell you the finance department. We have a staff of 3. We have Lisa, who is the director, Isabella, who is a full-time bookkeeper, and then we also have Cam Thompson, who works remotely and have been a part of our staff for at least 15 years, and she lives in Florida. So we have a very good group in our finance department, and is like Mike showed on the event that we had in Las Vegas, there's a lot of your funds that we spend, and the philosophy, and Lisa does a very good job of tracking all the money. We also have 2 reporting. We have to report all our funding to the United States Olympic Paralympic Committee because of the funding that they give high performance. And then we also receive some funding for office. And then also the funding is then at the end, we have our accountant that does our 990s, which you'll be able to find online. on our website. And then we also have an independent auditor that goes through everything that is the board appoints. And their job is to double check everything that Elise does as our treasurer with the audit committee, and then also with the work that our finance department works on. And Elise, can you just talk briefly at high level about, again, the compliance, not only what is required, but the expertise that our audit committee has in regards to finance?
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Thank you. So good evening again, everyone. I would like to just give you a brief overview and understanding. So part of the Audit and Finance Committee, so I am the chair as the treasurer, but we have other board members that are involved. And in order to be appointed to the Finance and Audit Committee, each person has to be vetted and reviewed by the nominating committee to ensure that they have the proper level of experience and expertise. So part of the Finance and Audit Committee, you have Chris Trombetta, who is a director on the board, Meg Lasara, and we also have athlete representation who have those athletes, the knowledge to be able to actually participate in this review and oversight. Lauren Migliacci that introduced herself tonight, and Danielle Perkins. So it's not just one person, it's a group. And the way that we work, every quarter, we review the quarterly financials that are produced by the financial team of USA Boxing, Lisa, Isabella, and Cam. And we actually ask questions and review in detail what is being presented. We raised some ideas regarding reporting or anything that has to do with the presentation that after validation and vote by the Finance and Audit Committee is being sent to the board for review and approval. So we review the quarterly financials, we review the budget, and we also have an in-depth session with the auditor once the audit of the yearly financial is finalized. So just to give you a high-level context, the idea for this committee is to basically have an oversight on the operation, because you cannot be judge and party. You cannot do operation and at the same time have that oversight. And that's the reason for the committee to exist.
Well, thanks, Elise. Just as wanted to show from the finance side of it, as we have grown membership, your membership fees obviously contribute to our budget. And we have another slide to talk about the dollar amount. But as you can see, is significant. About 80% of USA Boxing's budget comes from membership fees. And so it's vital to have our audit committee review how we're spending your money, and are we focusing on spending USA Boxing dollars on USA Boxing members. There was a time with USA Boxing that we did not. We have very few events. We have very few staff. We had a large reserve of funding, but we weren't spending money on the people whose money it actually is. So as that grows, we did, and we really thank you as we put out at the beginning of the year, 2025, with the economy and the inflation of how it impacts events, travel, food, lodging, and insurance were those major drivers. So we are tracking the money that we are able to earn from you all. But it is also now for us as starting the last time we had did a fee raise was in 2019, and that was for boxers only. And then for sanctions, clubs, and non-athletes, we hadn't raised rates in over 12 years. So that was the adjustment. But as being able to get the most bang for our buck is what we try to do. So when you saw the funding that where we get your dollars, as you look at, these are the percentages of the money that is spent. And one of the things, the expenses, a lot of misconceptions are is that high performance, we spend about 80% of our funding on high performance. And if you can see here, it's actually 34% of our total budget is on high performance. Our events is 45%, and then membership fees, insurance 42%. And then when you see general admin, you see that at 70%. A lot of those drivers is our insurance and being able to run the office. One of the things that came out, and at least correct me if I'm wrong, that the independent auditor said for every dollar we spend, it's approximately 16 cents are spent on staffing and all the things that it takes to run USA Boxing. So the money that is spent, this is the percentage of the money. So totally, the average for a nonprofit is in between 12 and 25. And so for every dollar we get from you, only 16% goes to running the organization, or 16 cents. The rest of it comes back to membership. Lisa and her team put together, and again, if you look at this graph, it's a little easier to understand. This is the amount of the dollars that are being spent. High performance, and high performance is 28%, but of that 28%, 34% of the dollars spent, that funding comes from the Olympic Committee in support of high performance. And again, as we work through this, you'll see that 6%, almost 7%, is for international support. That's to keep us a vital part of the Olympic movement, not only at the IF level, but also at the continental level. As you all know, we also, per USOPC requirements, we have to participate not only in the Olympic Games, but we also have to participate in the Pan Am Games. So that is why international participation at all levels is critical. The staff, which is our finance department, takes care of all our insurance for our staff. We currently have 32 full-time staff members. And then we have 4 positions at high performance that are open. That hiring process started in November, December, and we're still filling those vacancies that occurred after World Championships and the Olympic Games. Elise, do you have anything to add on the finance side of it? And then I could go how everything ties in right now to our high performance plan.
No, I think it's clear. What's really important is for people to understand the allocation of the resources and how they are spent. And I think it was clear to show that high performance is one part, but there is a deep investment at the grassroots level as well, and membership. So those dollars are allocated back to the grassroots level.
Thanks, Elise. As a high level here, and just so everybody, and I'm sure you all understand, our board of directors are responsible for oversight, but more importantly, driving the vision of USA Boxing. We had a meeting the other day, and Hector made a good statement. And Tyson, we talked about this too. The board gives a what we're going to do, and staff, our job is to figure out how to carry out their direction. So they do the what, we do the how. As part of that, we have a strategic plan. It is located, a general overview on the website. It is from 25 to 28, and just some of the areas that we were required to do for this year. We want to share that with you. You'll see a negative is that we weren't able to accomplish it. A dot is that it's in progress, or it's not totally done. And obviously a green check mark means that we accomplished the work for you all in going forward on the strategic plan. That'll be reviewed again in 2 years, make adjustments as we head into LA, but establish some training facilities. We weren't able to get that done, but from a high performance standpoint, our goal was 60% metal return. We fell a little short at 47. And again, as Matt talked about, the first year out of a quad where a lot of our Olympians, a lot of our team, high performance team boxers, either moved on to the professional level or decided not to participate. So it was a reloading year. I can tell you, and we're excited about all the boxing that happened at the national championships, and the boxers that are currently in selection camp now are moving forward. Especially we have youth boxers that are really starting to develop. We provided extra training offered to all the treasurers of all the LBCs. We were able to accomplish that. Our improvement of grievance processes, we've actually, one of the things that have come about, we've used the grievance or judicial committee, but we expanded the panel so we can have more hearings, and because make that so the process or the timing of hearings in regards to grievances is quicker. One of the big things that we're excited about, and it's the only good thing that came out of COVID, is we went from weekly LBC leadership calls during COVID, but we've continued to do that. And all the LBC leaders, thank you very much for getting on those once-a-month calls. I will encourage you, when you get the minutes, to share those with your LBC members, the Board of Governors. That way they're getting the trickle down. So we think that is great, and we're going to continue to do that. We've launched a recruitment plan with the RJ committee. Our goal this year is working with the RJ committee and the LBCs is to recruit 100 new referees and judges. If we look at it, it's approximately 2 per LBC. And so if you are a coach, and I would highly encourage coaches to also become officials, it makes it great at the grassroots level. And also encourage your boxers, anybody over the age of 18. As we all know, when you watch somebody or when you're coaching, you see things you don't see. So this will help us build our pool of officials for later on. And it actually helps the boxers see how difficult it is to judge and also to referee. So we started that. That'll be going for 26. We wanted to host an alumni event every year, which we were able to do in 25. Our newsletters, qualified board members and onboarding. Our bylaws process and policies were updated to come in total compliance. The USOPC changes those every year, so it takes a lot of work, and Stacy makes sure that we stay in compliance. Supported World Boxing to be able to gain IOC recognition, and then also to be included in the program in LA. One of the big things is on the international side, having Americans on those committees and commissions to help give USA voice internationally. We know the challenges of the past of not having Americans on those committees and commissions. Created a zero-based budget, and that was the work of the Finance Committee and oversaw by the Finance and Audit Committee, and then ultimately approved by our board. Again, positive financial SafePort audit annually, which we checked, conducted audits of the LBCs and some group members. One of the things, and we highly encourage, when we have job openings, we post those on our website. One of our focus is, and it's supported by our board, based on our peer groups here in Colorado. The idea is we're not going to be the lowest paid staff compared to our peers. or the highest paid staff. We think a good use of your money is that we're paid the average. So that is something that we've been working on, and it has proved beneficial. Like you'll see coming up, Lynette Smith, our membership director, 20 years of service. Cam is about 15. Matt, I think he said he was 12. So by having longevity with our staff, it builds relationships with all of you, but also gives us institutional knowledge so we can serve you better. And again, we have minimum quarterly board meetings. So we will follow up on this. I'm going to do a couple of house cleaning statements, and then Tyson and Hector, or if you could jump on and close us out. So first of all, on behalf of myself and our team here, one, thank you for being on the call. We've been steady, or the webinar, we've been steady right in the high 80s throughout this hour. And well, we started a little bit late, about an hour and 10. But hopefully this information gave you some insight of what our job is to serve you. If you took notes, hopefully you did. If there was a slide where you have a question or a comment, we'll send out information again. Please send that to us. And then we'll have a period of getting questions, probably 7 to 10 days. We will then answer those questions, repost those on our website for everyone to see. So we highly encourage any comments that you think that can be used to help us serve you better, questions that we can follow up on. The other thing is this webinar annual meeting will be posted. Please encourage members of your GEM, members of your LBC to take the time to watch this. And again, you don't have to have been here originally. It can drive us more questions. Please encourage them to do that. We can only do better if you tell us what we do good, things that we need to improve on, and suggestions on how to make our organization and our boxing community better. With that, Tyson, Hector, and any other board member, if you want to close us out, I'd really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks everybody on the staff for the hard work that you put into trying to answer the questions and incorporate it into the briefing and just get this information out to our membership. Just countless hours of work from you guys. I'll defer now to any board members. Do you guys have anything to add, Hector?
Yeah, I just want to say again, thank you to the staff for the incredible work and progress you are making for USA Boxing, for the boxers, for our members. I also want to give a special appreciation to all of our members. All that you do for USA Boxing, for boxers, bringing out the champion in them, both in and out of the ring. So very appreciative of all of you. You dedicate your lives, your time to make the sport better. So thank you so much. None of this can happen without you.
Any other board members? Well, one of the things I want to highlight, Mike, is just while we got the membership on here, and we'll make it very, very brief. You guys know that the LA Games, it's coming. The Olympic Games are coming to LA in 2028. And one huge thing is that boxing will be part of that program. And one of the reasons that we're going to be part of that program is because, I wish you could see me, but it's because of you, the members, and the support that you've put into, and confidence that you put into USA Boxing. The way we've grown every year, it's we're still not performing at the level we want to internationally, but that gives us something to shoot for. And we're really working hard to make sure we're successful in 2028. But we wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you. So just don't, a lot of the grassroots members can say, oh man, I don't really care about the Olympics. I just care about my gym and what I'm doing. But just understand, what you're doing every day and what you've done collectively has put USA Boxing in a position to where we were able to lead internationally to keep boxing, to put boxing back in the Olympic program because we were off. And now we're back relevant again. We're going to be strong. We had a big focus on that because we were leading that, but we couldn't have done that without you. I always talk about the board and the foundation, but the members make up all of that. And we serve you guys, and we go out and try to get this stuff done because of what you allow us to do. So thanks so much for what everyone does. And because you not only help nationally, but you've helped boxers all over the world. You've helped internationally. And so every member, every time you hit a mitt, every time you do a push-up or sit-up at your gym, just know you're part of this whole thing, not just board and foundation and all that. So I want to thank everybody for that. And make sure that you know that we know it and we appreciate it. So with that, Mike, thanks staff and for doing such a great job, and the board members for your committee work, and and the athlete reps that are training and working for you guys. We really appreciate what everyone does. So with that, Mike, you have anything else?
No, Tyson, just like to echo and on behalf of our team here, and we want to thank our board, you all, for your leadership, your confidence in delivering the product and the guidance and leadership you give us. And then also, obviously, our members, our customers, we understand they're our bosses also, and they're the big bosses. So, and again, it gives us an opportunity to come to work every day knowing we're serving the greatest boxing community in the world. So on behalf of our team here, thank you to all our members. We're looking for a great 2026 from the grassroots level where this starts to at the highest level. And it doesn't happen with one person or 100 people or one committee. It takes everyone. So like the president said, it does take a community or it does take a village. Our village is at 67,000 of the greatest fighters and coaches and officials in the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hector. Well, I was late getting on because I had issues. So you opened us up. So close us out during the meeting for us. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you everyone for being here. Look forward to seeing you all soon. So we will call the meeting to a close.
Thank you, Hector. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Well done,
Bye-bye.
guys. Goodbye.